Hey guys, Coach Becca here. Welcome to my 15-minute knee resilience video. We don't need any equipment today, and we're going to start off right away with ankle dorsiflexion stretch. So go ahead and kind of get yourself positioned at a nice little 90-degree angle here. If you're not quite this flexible, try sitting on a stool or a ball or a pillow if you need to. Okay, and here with our, this is my right foot. I'm just gonna kind of push that heel into the ground. I'm gonna lean over that right foot, and I'm just gonna feel that nice stretch in my Achilles tendon and in my calf. If you need to position your hands in front or to your sides, I invite you to do that. Today is all about strengthening the knee and all the muscles and ligaments surrounding the knee. So some of this work will be mobility, some of it will be balance and stability, and some of it will be strength training. So I'm excited to teach you some new stuff today. I'm just doing a few kind of rocks back and forth, not quickly or forcibly, just kind of working a little extra movement into that ankle joint. And this should be a fairly comfortable position, but you should feel the stretch. So if you don't feel the stretch, manipulate your body so that you do. Hopefully we'll build a little self-awareness today on top of improving your knee health. Okay, so we're just gonna switch sides. Again, if you need that, I have a medicine ball there. If you need a pillow or a little stool, just to make this a kind of a comfortable position, for lack of better words. Obviously, whenever we're stretching, we should feel what we're stretching, in which this case, you'll feel a little bit in the calf, the Achilles tendon right there on the heel. I'll point to it here. And again, I kind of use a 90-degree angle reference for the hip. Obviously, my other leg is kind of going straight ahead. But again, the position can be totally up to you. As long as you feel that Achilles area, we're just doing a couple pushes back and forth. There we go. I'm kind of getting my breathing down. Some deep inhales, exhales. Try not to overthink the movements today, guys. It's just simple manipulations that work for you with these movements. Okay, so I'll show you what I like to do and then make it work for your body. You know what I mean? All right, so we're just gonna sit on our bum now, grab behind our knee. And here's just a cool movement called a knee car. So I'm rotating my ankle, and you can't see it great on this shot, but I'll show you from the side. After rotating your foot inwards, I straighten my leg out. Then I'm gonna rotate my foot outwards and then pull down. So you can kind of see right where my hands are. It's right beneath the knee. The knee is kind of, all the movements go through the knee joint, and we're just kind of going through different angles that are possible here, which your knee can do. Your knee is a hinge joint. But it does communicate a lot with the hip and the ankle, so that's why we're working in movements of the hip and ankle as well. So here you can see that foot really well. It's going to rotate inwards. I'm going to straighten the leg out through the knee joint there, and I've just got light pressure on the knee. So you're kind of making a big teardrop shape. A knee car, or CAR, stands for controlled articular rotation. So we're working at a slow, controlled, kind of mobility-focused pace and pattern here. So rotate the foot inwards, gently straighten. You want to improve the connection from your mind to your knee, especially if you're someone that's had surgery on the knee in the past, like I have. I've had knee surgery before. I have some issues with my feet, so I do a lot of CAR movements at a lot of different joints to improve my understanding of my joint, to work on my mobility, and to decrease my chance of injury. Again, you'll rotate the foot out as you pull down, rotate the foot in, straighten. We're kind of making that teardrop shape, really controlled, really slow, just touching base with our body here. Happy to say, as an endurance athlete at 30, I'm staying pretty injury-free these days thanks to a lot of these movements. Next, we're going to incorporate a little bit of a yoga movement here. So we're going to do a down dog to knee tap. So this is the starting position of down dog. If you need to put your hands on a bench or a chair, that is a great way to start. And this is what the movement looks like. You're just going to come to your tiptoes and then press your heels down. Gently bend the knees, go to the tiptoes, and then press your heels back down. Knee bends onto the tiptoes, back to the heels. And honestly, that feels really great too. So you might want to just stay in that version, even if you can do this version. Second version, we're in downward dog, and then we're going to try to come as close as we can to the floor. You might stop there. You might be able to go all the way down. Just work with what your body's giving you. Honestly, you shouldn't feel any pain today. It should be pain-free ranges of motion. So stop where your body says stop, and just embrace injury, pain-free movements. You'll get a nice shoulder and lower back stretch along with this. So reach to the floor, get a nice stretch to the hamstrings and shoulders and lower back as we work some strength into the knees. All right, and we're just gonna pedal the feet out, get a little bonus calf and hammy stretch there. That just feels really good. It's one of my favorite things to do, so I have to put that in there. Well done. All right, up next, we've got lazy boys. I call these lazy boys like the recliner. So you're just gonna be on your knees with your feet flat, cross the arms, and squeezing your core and butt. You're gonna lean back like you're in a recliner. That's your own body weight as far as you can. Again, this should be pain-free, so even if you only go back an inch, that's fine. Okay, so think of this as a knee stretch, if you will. So your quads, they start at your hips, they go all the way through your knees, and you're really lengthening your quads. You're gonna fire up your core and glutes a little bit here. And that should just, again, this feels like a really great stretch, but it's also kind of a sneaky way to get your core and your glutes to turn on. The last thing I want is your rib cage to open and your back to arch. So don't lean back so far that you're opening up your rib cage and putting yourself in a bad anatomical position. There should always be a straight line from your knee to your shoulder on this one, just to make sure you're doing it correctly and using the right muscles. All right, now I'm gonna do a couple. I'm gonna do 6 with my feet bent, and I did 6 with my feet flat. So now that my, ankles are flexed, you're gonna feel it in a couple different places. So if you've got tight calves, you might be feeling it in your calves a little bit more. You might just feel that it's more challenging this way. Depending on the load on your body, you might feel different things with your ankles in extension versus in flexion. And as an athlete that has my ankles in both flexion and extension, I like to work all these different angles and challenge my body and my joints in different anatomical ways. So that's kind of a fun little variation. And again, we're doing 6 of each. This is a great way to improve your knee health, you guys. This is a great movement right here. Again, keep it in that pain-free range of motion. Up next, a great one. We got tripods. A couple different ways I'm going to show it to you. So let me teach you the first way. So you're seated on your rear end with your hands behind you and your feet lined with your hips. Okay, once you press into tabletop, you're going to straighten one leg, then the other. That's it. Go ahead and keep your eyes on the ceiling so your neck's not in a kind of a cranky position, so don't be looking forward at the TV at me here. There you go. Just do a few and then take a rest. I think we did 6 there, and now we're going to do an overhead version. So we're going to do 6 overhead reaches. So just alternate arms reach overhead, and this one's just really good for the spine, and also the hips are in extension and the knees are still in flexion. So this one's more for the upper body, but a nice little variety here. Just doing 6 of the overhead reaches after doing 6 of the lower body reaches. Very good. Take a little rest there. Again, that should be pain-free. Just stick with the lower half if you can't do the upper half. And now we're going to do an overhead each way. And then we'll do a lower body. Straighten out at the knee and then the other knee. Good. Okay. Take a little break and we're going to do 2 more of those. Drive the hips, reach overhead, big stretch for the spine. Feels really awesome. Well, depending on how tight you are. And then the lower body, there you go. Nice work. Come on down to the floor. Great job. Okay, a great energizing movement. If you can get yourself to kind of unkink the kinks there. Woo, very good. Awesome mobility movement. Then straighten one leg, then the other. Keep those hips up. Woo, very good. Thanks for doing that one, guys. That one's pretty awesome. All right, up next, we're going to do a movement called the isometric trunk squat hold. Okay, so we're going to cross at the arms at the shoulders, stand on one leg, and lower down as far as we can without compromising our posture. Okay, here's what it looks like from the side. So we're doing a 20-second hold. And this one's a great one to build stability in the ankle, knee, and hip, as well as building strength and resilience in the knee. We just want to have good posture here. So if you're not comfortable standing on one leg, you can just do a regular biparallel squat hold or a squat wall sit. Again, 20 seconds per side. Here's what the posture looks like. And we're just really kind of building that relationship with the lower body, saying, I have control, I have stability, I have strength, and I have endurance. So this is a great exercise. I put it in a lot of my workouts. I put this one in a lot as well. So here's level 1, 3-way single leg reach, which is the back foot down, okay? So your feet are, just about a stride length apart. Here's level 2. We're reaching to the right, to the middle, and then to the left to strengthen all different parts of our hamstring group to work on our stability. Here's what I don't want to see. lower back doing all the work, okay? Our lower backs hurt a lot of times because they're doing the job of something else, like the glutes and core. Okay, so you can have a soft knee, but I really want a nice straight line from the shoulder to the ankle on this particular movement. Here's what it looks like from the front. Reach into the pinky toe. I'll kick my treadmill here, but reach straight to the big toe. Okay, and then I'm gonna reach across the body. And you'll probably feel that in different areas on the backs of your legs, all right? So we're doing 5 or 6 rounds of this, and we're really working on stability, kind of training the hamstring group there, strengthening all those muscles. Your quads run through your knees, attached there in the front. Your hamstrings run through and attach there in the back. So we wanna make sure we're giving both equal love. I'm a runner and a cyclist and a swimmer, so these are important movements for me to stay injury-free in all of those sports. Okay, let's switch sides. Here's level 1. So even with the split stance position, you'll notice that my posture is still really strong, and that's gonna force my glutes and core and hamstrings to do the work instead of my lower back. I have a strong lower back. I do a lot of lower back movements like deadlifts to keep that back strong and glute bridges. But what we don't want to see is bad posture, because no matter how strong my back is, that'll definitely pick up the work there. Okay, that's what it looks like. That's what a crappy 3-way reach looks like if we're not intentional. So really be intentional here. Lengthen your body. If you have a mirror nearby, you want to check your form, that's a good idea. Or maybe just somebody at home to say, hey, does my posture look like this? It's great to have an external source. I like even just me watching myself in these videos is helpful, if I'm being honest. I do videotape myself doing a lot of movements just for form feedback. So I invite you to try that if you need to. 3-way single leg reach, working that stability. Good for the hips too, which healthy hips mean healthy knees a lot of the time. So great movement. All right, the overhead squat, the kingpin for me is this movement. So arms up like a Y. Sorry, I chopped the hand off there. And you're just gonna lower down into as low of a squat as you're comfortable with, okay? The feet are slightly turned out, no more than 15 degrees in this position. And my feet are just a little bit outside of the hips, but look at that posture. That's really what we're looking at. We're looking at posture, depth. Your knees shouldn't feel anything in this. If they don't, then you probably have some good healthy knees. Again, I'm somebody that runs a lot, cycles a lot. So sometimes I'll feel soreness just related to the exercises that I'm doing. But I don't feel pain, stiffness, all that. This is exactly why I do movements like this, is to get that stiffness out, improve my range of motion, improve my function. And that's why I'm able to turn on and do so much intensity and endurance every day. All right, now the deep squat hold, if you are somebody that doesn't have a lot of flexibility or has some knee issues, definitely put a ball or a chair or some pillows under you. Okay, we're just gonna go down into a deep squat with great posture. So the shoulders are not rounded forward. Instead, my shoulders are pulled down. I'm kind of squeezing my core while breathing strong. Here's what it looks like without the ball. And then my hands are just placed in a comfortable position at my center. My elbows rest really nicely on the inside of my knees. Not everybody has the same length of elbows and knees that I do, so your elbows might not land exactly where mine do. But no matter what, you should be somewhat comfortable in this position. Even if you need that target, you should be able to hold that position for at least a minute, which is what we're doing today, a 60-second hold. Now, if you can bring the arms into the overhead reach, even better. This is a progression, okay? But the posture stays strong. The lower back does not, my hips don't tilt forward or wink, okay? And then here's the kingpin, the top level, hip rotations in a deep squat. So if you can do that one, awesome. If not, try it again after you do this series a few more times and have more confidence in your knees. Great job today, guys. I recommend doing this workout 2 to 3 times for optimal knee health and strength. See you again soon.